Hello students, welcome to B.Tech 360. Based on the request that you people have had, we've been covering a lot of state entrance examinations and some of the private, university examinations, public or private institutions, which are conducting their own entrance examinations so that you actually have an option of getting into a larger cohort of colleges out there. And now what we're going to cover is Gujarat Common Entrance Test, which is called Gujarat CET. The reason why we're covering that obviously is because you wanted it, but some of the best colleges actually recruit students from Gujarat. Many of the universities within Gujarat also use Gujarat CET also to recruit, while they might also have a different pathway for people from outside of Gujarat. So we'll cover that in terms of what are the best colleges out there, what kind of cutoffs that you need, what kind of placements they offer, and how do you go about making those choices. Before we move further and start giving out the top colleges out here which accept a Gujarat CET score within Gujarat, of course, 3 hygiene checks for you. If you want me to cover any college here or any college that you have in your mind which you want greater information on or an examination also, please write to us and we'll be happy to cover that for you. 2, if you want to talk to us personally, there's a WhatsApp number here. You can message us on that and one of our counselors will call you up. And 3, most importantly, please subscribe to B.Tech 360. Now over to the examinations that we are, which is Gujarat CET, and what are the placement statistics, what are the colleges that are accepted, and all this detail will show you right now. The first thing is the number of students who appear for Gujarat CET is 1,29,912. And the total students is 1,26,000 who appeared for the examination. So 1.29 lakhs registered and 1.26 lakh appeared for the examination for a total number of seats which are within Gujarat with except Gujarat CET is about 60,000, close to 60,000 across 141 colleges. Now, when you talk of this particular rank at this point in time, you must remember that in Gujarat, 40% weightage is given to the score that you get in Gujarat CET examination and 60% weightage is given to class 12 board examinations in Gujarat. So, the rank that we're talking about is a combination of the two is what we're looking at this point in time. It's not just the score that you get in the Gujarat CET examination, which is only having a 40% weightage. The 60% weightage is for the class 12th examination. Right. So the rank that we're talking about is a combination of the two. You must remember that. The first institution that, the topmost institution that I will always want you to apply to is the Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of Information and Communication Technology, which is a private institution. It established in 2001. It's a private institution spread over 50 acres of land. It was named under late Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani. And in fact, one of the Ambani family members is also the president of the institution as we speak. And they have a very small cohort. 1,515 students is what they have across all the 4 years. 88% are boys, 12% are girls. And about 3% students come from outside the country also. My hope is that as we move along, this 9.2% will increase because it's a far better college to only have students from Gujarat, 90% from Gujarat. I'm hoping that as we move along, this college will have a lot more students from outside Gujarat also preferring this college because of the kind of quality it has. Right. And the faculty is 133 over 1,559, which means they have a student faculty ratio for about every 12 students, they actually have a 1 faculty member, which is very good. Now, what is the kind of placement that we have? The intake is 390. It's a very boutique, small university. They recruit very specialized way. In all, including lateral, it's 396 students. 358 students, graduated. 72 students opted for higher studies, which means they didn't want to sit in the placement process, but opted to move out of the thing. 265 students were placed, and the placement percentage is 93%. And the median salary here is 18 lakh rupees. If you now notice this 18 lakh rupees is far, far better than what you have in multiple places, which can be the kind of IITs, IIITs, NITs, all of them you take it. This is far, far better than that. So it's 18 lakh rupees is what you're dealing with as median salary across these 267 students who are placed, which is extremely good. If you take the top 10 engineering colleges in the country away, the 18 lakh would be somewhere in between 11 and 20 is my opinion. So, which is very good because we're talking of all India, and within Gujarat, this of course is the best one that you have. And then you also have the median and highest salary across the board. In 2023, it was average was 19.7 lakh. Before that, it was 19 lakhs. So, across the board, average salary is about 19 lakhs, and the median salary is about 17 lakhs and above. And the highest salary is about 80 lakhs and above. So that's what happens, which is very good, which typically compared to the best national institution that you have in the country. What is the highest closing rank for you to get into this institution? For B.Tech ICT, it is 71 is the highest closing rank with minor in computational science. For mathematics and computing, the highest closing rank of Gujarat CET is 91. For B.Tech Information and Communication Technology is 149. For B.Tech Electronics and VLSI Design, it's 223. So, and while this is for Gujarat CET, if you want to get through the JEE main kind of a rank through JOSA counseling and the kind of percentile you need to be about 98 percentile and around that to get into any of the branches here. So they also accept students from JEE Main also, but you must know that you should be about 96 to 99 percentile to have a chance of getting into any of these programs. And if you're wanting to get into any of the computer sciences branches kind of a thing, it should be 98 percentile and above. But it's a very good option. You must keep it as a part of your option set. The second one is School of Technology in PDEU, which is called Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya Energy University. It's in Gandhinagar in Ahmedabad, right? This was established in 2007. It's a private college, of course, 100 acres of land, 4,484 students, 84% are boys, 16% are girls. And only 7%, 6% students come from outside the state of Gujarat. This again is an improvement that I think is deserves because it's a very, very good university. You must go there to experience that. 90% students come from within the state, and about 3% students come from outside the country also. So here we have a university where 3% students come from outside the country, but at the same time, only 6% students come from outside the state. That requires some kind of a correction. My hope is over the next few years, this will have about 25-30% students from outside the state of Gujarat, because that is where you create diversity and improve the quality of education, which is what it deserves in that sense, right? And the faculty also is 260 out of 4484. So we're dealing with about 1:16, 1:17 kind of a student faculty ratio. Now if you look at placements here, 780 is the intake, including lateral, it is 869 admitted. 210, but again lateral entry admission. Graduating is 884. Place was 462. 319 students opted for higher studies. So the kind of program that this institution possibly seems to have is that a lot more students are moving to higher education. That seems to be the case here as I see it, though I just need to reconfirm many things here. But based on the what the college claims, about 82% placement is what they claim, and median salary is at 6.5 lakh. That's over a number of students who place at 462, but this is 22-23 data. What I showed you earlier is NRF data, which is 23-24. This also is NRF data, but 24-25 we don't have data for this Nirma University, for PDEU, right? But with the kind of quality of intake that it has, and I'll show you the quality of intake very soon. Let's move to the next one and I'll show you the quality of intake also. For CSE, the highest package was 38 lakh rupees. For School of Petroleum Technology, the highest package was 23.61 lakh rupees. Right. And if you look at the highest closing rank, this is where the competition comes in. Remember, about 1.26 lakh students appear for Gujarat CET examination. So here, when you look at it in some kind of a sync, at 1,382, which is 99 percentile, B.Tech Computer Science Engineering is closing. So you need to be a 99 percentile in Gujarat CET, where the 12th class marks and everything is combined together. At 1891, B.Tech Computer Science and Business Analytics, which is about 98.5 percentile. Right, B.Tech Electronics and Communication is about 2,902, which is about 97.8 percentile, and so on and so forth. So when you look at this highest closing rank, you realize that unless you are in 92, 93 percentile and above, you don't have a chance of getting into PDU in the normal course. If you're coming to the Gujarat CET entrance examination, they also have a parallel pathway for JEE and those kind of things. They do have students from outside the state also coming in, because it's a private university, remember that. But they also accept students from Gujarat CET, and when you look at the kind of students who are being filtered out to get into this particular university, you very clearly know the quality of the institution, because you need to be about 94, 95 percentile and above to even have a chance of getting into this institution for any branch for that matter. And if it's CSE and all, you need to be 98, 99 percentiler. That is very good out of 1.26 lakhs. Right. The third one is Nirma University, Institute of Technology in Nirma University. This was established in 1995, so about 31 years old. It's a private college, of course, 115 acres of land, 4,231 students, of which 83% are boys, 17% are girls. And about only 8% students come from the outside the state of Gujarat, right? 90% come from within Gujarat, and 2.2% students come from outside the country also, right? And the faculty is 266 on 4,231 students, which means that we're dealing with about 1:15, 1:16 kind of a student to faculty ratio. Now, what is the kind of placement that you have here? 946 students for the intake, but admitted is 1,035. Graduating was 1,028, so almost 99% kind of a graduating class. The place was 755. 166 students opted for higher studies. Now, based on that, about 88% kind of a placement and a median salary of 6 lakh rupees. So, when you deal with an 88% placement and more importantly 755 students placed, your median is bound to fall because you also have other branches, not just CS and IT and those kind of things, and that will always invariably make the median salary fall. But still at that level, when you have 6 lakh, it means very, very credible, which means that your highest package would be very, very high. And in some branches, you will be dealing with about 12, 14, 15 lakh rupees kind of a salary in some of the branches. It is the core that brings it down, and that is where the 6 lakh median salary happens. Now, when we look at the branches also, we realize that in civil engineering, the highest was 7.79. So you can safely assume that the lowest would have been 3.5, 4 lakh rupees also. For chemical, it's 13.52 was the highest salary. Computer science, highest was 52.25. This, of course, is the most in demand thing. Electrical is 17.07 lakh highest salary. ECE is 35.56 lakh highest salary. EIE is 14.91 highest salary, and mechanical is 14.91 highest salary. And that's a kind of placement percentage also. The placement percentage is very good. Across the board, it's 80% and above across all branches. The only caveat being many students opted for higher studies. So we don't know how many at a branch level moved for higher studies. But if you remove the higher studies part of it, we're dealing with about 80% plus kind of a placement across the board. Now, what is the highest closing rank that you need to get into this particular college? Through Gujarat CET, which has a equal weight, 60% weightage for class 12 board, and Gujarat CET marks what you score in the examination, 40% weightage. So when you normalize that and come up with a rank, for CSE to get into Nirma University, you need to have 292 rank. Now remember, 1.26 lakh students appeared for the examination. So when we deal with that, right, then the percentile here would be 99.7 percentile. 99.7 percentile to even get a chance in that. For B.Tech AI and machine learning, it's 399. Right. For B.Tech Electronics and Communication, it's 707. For B.Tech Electronics and Instrumentation, it's 2186. And for B.Tech Mechanical, it's 2121. At 2121 also, you're dealing with essentially 98.3 percentile. So for the competition here is so intense that unless you get more than 98 percentile in Gujarat CET, including the board marks and all, you don't stand a chance of getting a part of the Nirma University in any of the branches that you're having. So that is a good quality cohort that we're dealing with, and you must be looking at it. Then the next one is Dharmsinh Desai University in Nadiad. This was established in 2000. It's a private college, 45 acres of land, 3,213 students, 85% are boys, 15% are girls, right? And about 100% students come from the state, within the state, and no one from outside the country. And the faculty-student ratio is 1:16 kind of a thing, if you notice very carefully. Here the placement is about 70 students was the intake, 720. 762 were admitted, including lateral and all, 72 students. 830 students graduated, 545 were placed, 190 moved for higher studies, 85% placement, median salary is 4.5 lakh rupees. And the placement seems to be about 85% across the board, and the median salary also seems to be about 4.5 lakhs across the board. But when you have so many high, the quantity of students that are there, about 545, 600 students getting placed, that's still a credible number. And when you are dealing with a college which is under the state, within the state and has students from only within the state, right? Now, this is the kind of numbers placed. You can take a screenshot of this because we don't know how it is linking back to the overall number. So I'm not going to step onto that at this point. Right. What is the highest closing rank for you to get into this particular college at a branch level? For B.Tech Computer Engineering, 833. Right. When you compare it with 1.26 lakh numbers that you're dealing with, then you realize that you need to have 99.4 percentile and above. Right. For B.Tech IT, it is 2,433, which means 98 percentile, 98.1 percentile. For B.Tech EC, it's 3,550, which means we are dealing with 97 percentile and above, 97.2. B.Tech Mechanical is 10,548, and B.Tech Instrumentation and Control Engineering is 10,810. Then you have LD College of Engineering in Ahmedabad, established in 1948, so very, very old institution. It's a government institution, 59 acres of land, 6,933 students, 81% are boys, 19% are girls. 1.7% from outside the state, 98% are from within the state, and 37 students come from outside the country also. And the faculty is 318, which means that we're dealing with 1:20, 22 kind of a number of student to faculty student ratio, which is what typically happens in a government institution where the recruitment has a long drawn process. So your recruitment, in a certain sense, is a struggle in these kind of colleges. What is the kind of placement that they have? Intake is 1,140, including lateral 1,218, lateral is 348, graduated 1,439, place was 1,057, 57 students moved for higher studies, 77% placement, and the median salary is 5 lakh rupees. Again, with this kind of a number of 1057 students placed, obviously it's a very, very good number for you to deal with, especially because this institution will have all kinds of branches, and to place some of the branches becomes a big, big challenge, right? And these, of course, the offers given on year. In last year, 1,039 offers were made to the students of this particular college, and so many students were placed, of course, right? Not, by the way, offers and number of students placed cannot be will be separate, because one student can get more than one offer, which is where the number of offers would typically be more than the number of students placed. And what is the highest closing cutoff that you have on? For BE Computer Engineering, it's 646. When you deal with that, it is 99.5 percentile for Gujarat City. BE AI and Machine Learning is 1070, which is 99.2 percentile. Right? BE Information Technology is 1270, which is 99 percentile. For BE ECE, it is 1924, and for Electrical Engineering, it's 5212. So essentially, again, when you look back at it, 96 percentile and above is what you need to be a part of the LD college, which is a government college. The fee is very regulated here, so it's very, very economical for you to study. And this is a college that is meant for the students of Gujarat only, because it's a Gujarat state college. Then you have Indus Institute of Technology and Engineering in Ahmedabad, established in 2006, so 20 years old. It's a private college spread over 20 acres, 3,143 students, 73% boys, 26% girls, 21% come from outside the state of Gujarat, and 78% come from within the state, and 11 students from outside the country also. The faculty is 228 on 3,143. So 1:14 kind of a student faculty ratio is what you have. So for every 14 students, you actually have a faculty member. That's what it means. Right. Now, how is the placement here? 780 students was the intake, admitted was 732, lateral was 147, graduating is 534, 188 students were placed, 319 moved for higher studies, 85% placement, 4.3 lakh. Right. So that's the kind of number that we have as far as NRF data is concerned. We don't have the data for NRF 2025. What we have is for data of NRF 2024, and that's all we can talk about. The companies coming in for placement here are, while I talked of 4.5 lakhs or something as the median salary, the average salary seems to be 6.8 lakh is what the company institution claims on its website, and the highest salary is 30 lakh rupees. The kind of companies that come for placement include TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, all the software companies, L&T Infotech, Reliance Jio, Adani Group, Zydus Cadila, Torrent Pharma. So you actually have all kinds of banks, consulting companies, software companies, manufacturing companies, Maruti and Hyundai and all. So you have all kinds of companies coming here for placement. Now, what is the highest closing rank that you have here for you to get in? For BE Information and B.Tech Information and Communication Technology, it's 15,086 is the highest closing rank. For B.Tech Electronics Communication Engineering is 34,340. For B.Tech Computer Engineering is 50,423. For B.Tech Computer Science Engineering is 50,783. And for B.Tech Mechanical is 50,896. So that's the kind of highest closing rank of Gujarat CET, which has a combination of both that will be required here. Right. So this is what we talked of the colleges in Gujarat City. If you want me to cover any other college, please message me here. If you want me to cover any exam, please message me here. If you want to talk to us, there is a WhatsApp number, please message us and we'll be happy to call you up and talk to you. And most importantly, please subscribe to B.Tech 360. Thank you so much. Namaste.